Welcome to Galactic Earth Fusion Mission Upgrade, the show that discusses the normal, the paranormal, the natural, the supernatural, the organic to know the inorganic, the weird, the wonderful, all things outrageous, strange, upbeat, and cutting edge. Today, we are broadcasting from Hot Springs, North Carolina, land of the sky. And my guest today is Katie O'Shea Juanita, and we're going to talk everything harmonizing journey and Keyonta science. And with that, how are you, Katie?
I'm doing quite well dealing with the heat. It's very hot where I'm at, but
yes.
good.
Yeah, you're near Savannah. I know it is hot there because when I was in Edisto about a month ago, it was hot. Well, maybe it was less than a month. I don't know.
It's even hotter now.
I'm sure it is. Time
Yeah.
is so weird lately. It's just hard to know exactly where we are in time and everything. But let's have you give a little introduction about yourself and what it is that you're doing lately. Because I know you're combining tarot with what you're doing, so I'd like to hear.
Yes. Keyonta science is the foundation upon which Harmonizing Journey to Realignment was built, and added with the Tantra or Hura spirit body technology that was kind of started a little bit in what was called the Sliders series, that was involved with connecting into Sanctuary Island and some of the other islands, and was part of developing the integral bridge, Seven Bridges Flows, what I like to kind of call the bypass, what's become the bypass system.
And for some of my people that don't know, because we'll have all different, we're talking the works of Ashiana Dean, which was Azurite Press years ago, and then and she wrote Voyagers 1, Voyagers 2, and I'm trying to think of what the other book's called. I can't remember right now. The other
Stewardship Initiative was another one, and I'm spacing on the other one.
and had the Freedom Teachings, and then the Sliders workshops were later after the Freedom Teachings, before up to 2012, when people say there was a split in the community because there was 3 speakers. And you know what we're going to look at is we're going to analyze the old work, the new work, the in between, how we integrate this work, which I feel we're all guardians and stewards of, even though it's under the Alhambra Majesticis Councils of Cosminas. We're going to talk about what all those things mean, who Effie is, who the Nomi are, and what these things. So you can start anywhere with any of that, because you know what I want to cover for this audience, because people are starting to ask about the colonic science and who are the guardians, you know, and why the guardians with all this crazy stuff. Let me just ask you this first. Did you see Disclosure Day?
I haven't seen it, but I had a spoiler alert. I listened to my Beyond the Mystic YouTube channel group, and Is
that Jean-Claude?
Yes.
Okay.
And Tarot by Janine.
Right.
And I thought they did an excellent job. And the feeling that, or kind of the impression they had, was that it's for what we call kind of normies, kind of people that are kind of still sleeping, that it was perfect for them. It just kind of gave you a little tidbit here and there, enough you wouldn't get too traumatized and could kind of get a feel, and but not really into anything of real substance.
Well, for me, that wasn't true, and it depends on the lens of things you're looking at. If you have any SSP, anything.
Well, there was no SSP particularly talked about.
Yeah,
there was no draconians talked about.
No,
they only really kind of got into some of the grays, and that was kind of it.
No, there's none of it talked about, but they're actually disclosing it through what.
There was disclosure, yes, but it was soft. It was a very soft, gentle, nice disclosure.
I'll just share.
It wasn't the full shebang.
For me, I saw the movie, and for me, what the disclosure was the way they did it, and not what they said so much as what they showed you, like showing targeted individuals, showing remote viewing, showing things like how to create Manchurian candidates. The normies don't even know what they're looking at.
Well, that's what I'm saying. For normies, This was perfect for people
Right.
like us. It was a soft disclosure.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot in there that even
A
for me, it was
lot, a
emotional.
lot in there. Yes.
It was a very emotional, and I was left wide open because I had done a workshop the day before where I was a presenter in the Summer Days Conference online, which I'll be having Gina on tomorrow. So I just think it's interesting. But what it did bring up is this, what I call gray infestation now, because everybody's focused on the grays, and that's not where we want the collective's focus is on the grays. Yes, they exist, but these are not the nice ones. So, and I know
Well,
even David Icke said, well, you got to be, they're showing like they're normalizing the grays. People are too compassionate with the grays and blah, blah, blah. It's just, we want to go much higher than that. And then people
yeah.
can have their own discernment about why they don't want to interface at that level.
I think there's a wide range of what's called grays. And I mean, we even know with the Aisha's backstory that she connected with a certain group of grays who
Right.
were actually part of the Guardian Alliance and were on their hosting plan. Um, so there is some good.
Yes.
There are some that are, yeah. I thought, and this was the thing that John Claude was kind of saying, was he thought, the movie kind of made the grays out to be much nicer than overall they probably are.
Right.
And that was his biggest criticism of it. But other than that, he appreciated all the things that you appreciate of it too.
I
And
think,
speaking on that, in what your previous question was, so Guardian Alliance, and we're looking at aliens and Guardian Alliance. Really, if you want to look at history in terms of Voyagers, we're all aliens.
right.
Really, when it
That's
comes
right.
right down to it, we are it. We are the aliens. We came many, many billions of years ago, and we were part of what was called an Amenti project, you could say,
Right.
to heal damages that occurred from a different realm, but is also connected historically to this planetary structure and this reality structure that's within it. And so it's been a very healing project. There's been interference with the healing project because besides what we consider the Terranesium experiment or Terranesium lineage, aka also angelic humans that were a part of the Amenti project, we also that came in here and are part of a collective, let's just say for now, I'll explain more later, that was part of developing the planetary universal structure of this particular system because they had the well, we'll go to that in a minute too. We're able to do that. We are kind of, you could say, first dibs on having the say over the planetary structure because of
Right.
that.
What I like to say if in
Okay.
interfacing with any species, I like to connect to God's source, first eternal first, and I
Right.
want to be a sovereign being. And as
Yes,
long
I'll
as
get
you're
to that.
okay with that,
I'll get to
if
that.
you're okay with that, then you're okay in my book.
Yes, I will get to that. And then we had other collective lineages that also said, hey, I want to have stewardship over the planet. And that's kind of been the issue back and forth historically and why the part of the history of Voyagers of that. But kind of going back again to the beings or consciousness that would have the ability to create or put together the planetary structure the way it is. Yes, there's something called multidimensionality. And in that multidimensionality, there's different what we call harmonic universes, reality fields or density planes of existence. And they're all interrelated. So there's a harmonic universe one, planetary structure that we're physical incarnate level we are here. We then have a soul level, which we call harmonic, as part of harmonic universe 2. We then have an oversoul level, which is part of harmonic universe 3. We have an avatar level, Christos avatar level, which has to do with harmonic universe 4. And then we have a rishi level that has to do with our harmonic universe 5, which is actually this huge sun gaseous consciousness field that surrounds our whole reality field of those density harmonic universes that I just explained. That was the consciousness collective that had the capability of, I don't want to say terraforming because that's not really accurate. It was bigger than that because it was from a spirit, soul, collective consciousness of how we are all, in my opinion, and I think that the Keyonta science says
And I
this
just
too.
want to interject something. This is still considered external creation.
Wait, I'll get there. So
Interjecting here.
we are, okay, so we're all these different levels connected in, and it's a, so yeah, it would be the what we can reference as harmonic universe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 would be part of the what's called the light body structure, which would be the external domains, and then you have more the internal or eternal internal spirit body, which is, we've finally gotten what we call the Tantra or Hura teachings, which is more into the eternal core spirit body of actually who we are authentically. Because the light body outpicturing is an outpicturing of the internal. And yes, this out body can fragment and change and get distorted. But the internal, I like to call our internal eternal core of our being, of our central body current within our being. There's something called an, well, anyway, there's mechanics within our central body chakra system that connects into that spirit body connection, that when it literally creates the physical body. It also, I like to call it our personal planetary morphogenic field structure, so that it also, and Yesha would refer to it the biofeed interface system of how our personal physical body interfaces into the planetary core. That also creates the planetary structure. So all the souls interfacing, seated into the core of the earth, all of us together create the form of the planet. So that's kind of what I was meaning in the beginning, how we all, as guardians, because it's really multidimensional, so we have all those different levels of being, all participated at some level developing the structure of interdimensional structure of this reality field that we're in. And yes, there's different levels of consciousness. Right now, most people are only awakened or aligned within something called what we call a Cathar grid structure, a template, a blueprint that embodies these different harmonic universe density levels, and also interfaces into higher levels than that. We're going to in what we call middle domains, or inner domains in the core. And I like to think of the Cathar grid structure really as something called energy lines and energy centers of the neural network pathways of the eternal mind, as we all are together, as I like to call God's first eternal I, the amnist. So there is still the I, identity, incarnate self, and how that expands and integrates into everything and everyone around you. But right now, our neural networks, also the term apartheid receivers would be a Quranic science term, but let's say our neural networks are shut down, and there's history behind that. We can get into that if we have time.
We'll get into
that. Keeps us kind of almost like a little net kind of shut down, and we're just looking at our physical 3D intellectual mind. We're starting now, many of us, kind of almost like punching holes, so to speak, and starting to align
And that looks
Oh,
funny. I'm thinking of, and when you said that other stuff, I'm thinking of banshees and fatally and
there's well, okay, yeah. I mean, we can go down that road too, but I'm just saying, in general, basic mechanics here.
Here's a
to get
question
people
though
on
that
the
I
page.
feel the audience would have that I want to ask you, because when we're talking about chakras, there's a lot of people like in this so-called freedom movement, new age, think people that study, you know, all kinds of galactic stuff, that they want to get rid of their chakras, and that's not plausible. I say you're not getting rid of them. What you're doing is you're cleaning it up and you're removing implants, and that becomes like a pastel rainbow clear light. Maybe you can talk about that, because I know
to me, our chakras are part of the light body structure, of how the light body is created. So if you don't have chakras, you're not going to have a physical form and a reality around that. It's part of creating your reality. And yes, there are implants, distortions, lining up. There's vortices. Each chakra has certain vortices, energy flows, and some are shut down, some are running the wrong direction, and so in not lining up into proper. That's part of why we're like this, shut down, because our chakras aren't working right. You get the chakras working properly, right. Density 2 comes online, density 3 or harmonic universe, whatever, comes online. Connecting to the avatar, which when we are fully aligned into your avatar self, the energy lines, energy centers of your neural network pathways of your eternal mind of beingness, at will can travel through the harmonic universe planes, backwards, upwards, and down at its own will when things are functioning right. Just based on what else I was going to say.
No, what I was going to say is, and sometimes I feel you work on certain pieces, whether it's on the 3D personality level, the soul level.
Okay. Wait, I just one more point.
And then they're braided together. These have to be braided together in a way.
Hold on.
So they're integrated.
Okay, now I remember. Wait. I just want to say one more thing about the chakras, and then we can go someplace else. I forgot another aspect of the chakra system is when the Amareya, the chakras light up and become fire, become Amareya buffers, Amareya beings, flame body activation. Then the next level is each chakra has little lotuses, little flowers. And that's when our plasma spirit body starts to activate. So then we connect into our more spirit body connection. You don't want to get rid of your chakras. You want to activate your plasma. That's the mechanics that I'm involved with the Harmonizing Journey.
Your endocrine organs connect to those chakras too. So you have
the organs, yes.
For your endocrine organs.
Exactly. It creates your whole reality.
Yeah, that's part of your projection into here. Let's address this from Shekinah. She wrote Golden Dragon Light Body Integration with Elemental Dragon Body Embodiment, Grounding, Neurological Interface, and Planetary Body Earth Core, Sophian Intelligence. Okay, that's just she had just a comment here. And let's see. Implants don't like it. Rock the chakras. Okay. Mama Earth gets chakras aligned. Yeah. Okay.
And working exactly and precisely.
Let's give a short breakdown of, let's start with the freedom teachings, a short breakdown for people of a concise, so they know the difference between where we're going to go. Doesn't do much of the difficult mechanics like part of K and all this kind of stuff. They're not that just a simple breakdown. What would like
basically okay. All right. I mean, I don't know if this is going to answer it the way you want, because it's putting chaos in a nutshell is not the easy thing to do.
No, it is not.
But I mean, kind of the generic is, It's about multidimensionality, creation mechanics. It's about something called the basic codes of matter. Um, Basically, it's creation mechanics. And I would add to that, there's there's the organic, in breath, out breath, perpetual renewal mechanics, and then there's something that I like to call second creation finite mechanics. And I put under that, and I know there were people in your group that are going to get upset with me on this, and I don't really care.
I don't care if people get upset about anything, so you're in good company.
Second creation finite mechanics is Fibonacci spiral to Taurus, flowers of life.
Oh yeah.
Death. All the pretty much what we're living on this planetary structure is second creation finite mechanics. Because you look under the microscope and you see the flower and it has a Fibonacci structure to it. Yeah.
That's why.
That's why everybody's dying. Yeah.
I'll even say a lot of times I don't subscribe to the Guardian Alliance. I mean, I say I connect to God Source First Eternal because there's a lot of hijacking around the Guardian Alliance. People are saying, "Oh, this is Guardian Alliance that said that." Well, not necessarily.
I agree.
So I don't even use that anymore.
In 2012, I guess we'll go back to this. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because I'm tired of it. But the only thing that I want to say in regards to that is when that occurred, there was basically, and there's a lot of technicals behind it. We're not going to even get into that. But we had what was called an indigo shield, an energetic shield. You could say maybe one big cathar grid structure, blueprint template. And the three speakers were holding that shield template, and then all of us that were part of that were also helping to hold that shield. And when the shield got breached, we can talk in a moment if you want to about that. When it got breached, a lot of the guardians that were helping to hold, that were working with the Aisha, there was the three founder races. When I was talking about Harmonic Universe 5, the Rishi level, we have three founder races that were part of that reality field. Certain ones that I'm not going to say per se at the Rishi level, but they were also levels of themselves, because all these different levels, incarnate soul, oversoul, avatar, we have a part of ourself in them. So each of these collectives had a part of themselves in those harmonic universe planes, which many times you could say we all had our part of the lineage line, right, of them. Some were more Seraphai, some more Yanni. Okay. The ones that were, I think, the Yanni group in particular, the Emerald Order, I really feel like this is a personal opinion from me. It's not something that Aisha would say that I know of or anybody else. It's just a personal opinion that I got myself from my own connections. Is they got their asses handed to them when the breach occurred. A lot of them did get hit hard. I'm not saying all of them got compromised.
And that's why we're here.
But I think a lot of them did, and that's really why we had to have what's called the Alhambra come in, so they had to kind of come in and intervene and kind of help out, and kind of in the middle of that cleanup. But yeah, I think a lot of them got hit hard, and they're in the middle of a lot of them healing, integrating. But I think a lot of them are not doing the work that they need to do to heal. And I think that people are that are calling them, I hate God, boy, I'm out. A lot of people that are calling themselves KSers aren't really in alignment anymore. I'm not going to say names because honestly, I really don't know.
For I know I'm part of that Emerald Order, And I know I was one of,
Oh,
mean,
I have my connection to it too. Although
yeah,
I
I
was,
know that, which is if you're, mostly indigo type 1, which is what I feel I mostly, although I feel you can be all indigo types, 1, 2, and 3. I've done all of them. And I feel like there's almost like a 4 or some other level that embodies all of them. That's not her work. That's just my personal opinion that when you've done all of them, and then,
uh-huh.
that's the way it is. That
and
doesn't mean you're not the other things. That doesn't mean you don't have
and
all the
and we
great
all have. Let me put it this way.
everything.
At this point, we have all three founders in us.
I
We
agree.
have Anu's in us. We
Yep.
have all Dracos. We have all of it. It's in our lineage, biological lineages.
And we
We have
have
to suck
dark
it up. We
flower, and
have it
we have
all.
all of it. We got
We have it all.
we've got
So nobody's
fatally, we've got
perfect. Nobody's high and mighty.
we've
Yeah,
got
we're all clearing.
banshee, we've got it all.
We got it all. But I wanted just to real quick, when I'm using the term Alhambra, I'm talking about the crystal people, our eternal crystalline plasma liquid sound consciousness from, I call it, because I'm reading out of my introductory material, the eternal internal core domains of the deity planes, through the deep planes to the eternal core of the Wykin or Urele Conservatory, which is located into the core spirit body, um, who come in to do bioregenesis, realign, and evacuate when a universal time matrix has gone down way too many rabbit holes and is having trouble finding its way back. Just kind of
Sounds
where we're at
about
right
right. Sounds about that's where we are.
now.
Too many rabbit holes.
I love them to bits. I never really, I've always had a respect and appreciation for the Emerald Order, Guardian Alliance team. I still do. But I never had, I always felt like I was adopted by them. I never really felt like I was really them, although they have times say, yes, you do have a connection. I'm like, okay. But when it came to the Alhambra, even the Ad Andrea, which is kind of a separate topic, I felt more of a connection. But definitely with the Alhambra, very visceral, very much a connection.
Okay, let's define this first before we get into that. You'll hear the word K+8. You'll hear about cathedral networks and Chi sites, but you'll also hear about Q sites and the original Stargates, and some of them are close. Can we get into the external Stargates as well as the cathedral networks, which I resonate with more, and work with those tributaries, like especially Cathedral 1 in Norway? I mean, I feel those, and the extension arms, which she may not have even labeled some of the extension arms, but I feel where those passages connect. But I want to give a background for the difference for the people that are still a lot focused on the external Stargates and things like that.
Let's throw a whole bunch of things at me. Okay, let's start with the Stargates. So, and speaking of Stargates, and we can also there's the body of the Earth, just like there's the human body. So, the human body talked about having a blueprint Cathara grid structure, the energy lines and energy centers. In the energy lines, there's energy centers. They actually have different points on the physical body that coincide with that Cathara grid structure and the energy lines that move to those different centers. There's areas where there's crossover points in those energy lines and energy centers of that Cathara grid structure. That's where you, one, have energy centers, but you also have the chakra systems as well as part of that system of that, like a circuit board. You have a circuit board, which would be like the blueprint, and then you put your different components built onto that, and then you have your machine. From a really, science-oriented kind of mundane way. It's kind of the same thing. So there's Cathara, the basic blueprint template, Cathara grid structure. Then there's a second level of Cathara grid, which is when you start putting the components on there, and then how the energy flows in and out. There's even more components to that. Something called axitonal lines, meridian lines tie into that more fleshed out Cathar level 3 structure. The planet has the same thing, but instead of saying Cathar centers, we say stargates. And these stargates or energy centers, and we're talking about the Cathar structure, the blueprint, and how I talked about we had harmonic universe 1, harmonic universe 2, harmonic universe 3 of soul, oversoul, avatar, rishis. These different consciousnesses, they all interface to the energy lines and energy centers of the blueprint of this Cathar grid structure. Planet has the same thing. And so these different energy centers or stargates,
and let me just and hold that thought. We're talking about, when we talk about Cathar, something that looks like a tree of life, but it's different. And maybe we'll cover that
it has
too.
12. Do you have an image you can share?
No, because I don't know how to do it on an iPad, but I could probably.
Oh, okay. Let me. I don't know if I can pull. I don't know if I. We almost forgot getting into using the share screen, and then we.
You know what, Louis? Do me a favor. Can you post a link in the YouTube for us?
Pictures. Stuff. Where is my Cathar grid? Oh, there's a Cathar grid. Okay. Let us see if I can share.
I thought I was going to make notes, Katie, but I didn't make any notes because I moved locations. See, originally, I thought when we were going to do this, I was going to be here a couple days and I was going to have time to make notes. But I ended up cat sitting for 4 days before I got to my dad's, and I had no time to make notes. So I just figured I wouldn't. It would just be what it is. Ooh, and I'm looking up these pictures, and none of them are a Cathar grid. Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
It's very
strange. It's. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe if I do that, and then come back over here. There you are. There you are.
That's okay. We could always put.
Is it doing it? Is it sharing? Is it sharing
it? Excellent. Yes. Here we
go. I can't see myself. Let's see. Hold on. Do you still? Okay, there it is. Okay. So that's basically a Cathar grid structure. So down at the, you see that the central current, you have the red is the root chakra, the gold, sacral, the blue, kind of correlates to a certain extent, but not completely because green's over here. But with the, so yes, that's more of what a healthy looking Cathar grid structure is supposed to look like, not the Kabbalistic sort of dwarfy 10 point, which the Kabbalistic one came from this, but then there was things that happened, whole nother discussion, probably another day.
Probably not today. No, I really don't even care about going too much into the fall of anything except to address any questions. Like right now, while that's up there, might as well address what role Michael played in the KS.
So when I talk about energy line or energy lines, you probably don't. Do you see my arrow? Of course not. I know you don't. So the balls would be the energy centers, crossover points. And then those lines coming out are the energy lines. And there's multiple crossovers along the central current. And that's where we get our chakra systems. And then there's actually tonal lines are another level of outpicturing from this circuit board blueprint template, right? So yeah. Is there anything else you wanted me to say in regards to that? Or
no, that's fine. I can take that down, or actually just leave it up for while we address these questions. Just
okay, because I can stop sharing.
Oh well, I have to actually have it leave the stage, which I'm going to do. Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, I can get out of it.
These questions for Eric.
Okay. What role did Michael play in the fall of KSers and the whole movement? I'm assuming when you say Michael, are you talking about Archangel Michael? Or are you talking about Michael Dean?
He's talking about her husband, her previous husband. I'm pretty sure.
Michael Dean. Okay.
Yeah, not Archangel Michael.
Because he got hit by what was hitting the shield, and it damaged his, let's just say it damaged his template enough that he could no longer hold the shield, and opened it up to where certain types of energies could infiltrate the shield and change the structure of it in a way that we liked, that we thought was a good way. That's There was nothing of him as an individual intentionally doing harm.
Right.
I want to make that clear. As a person, as an individual, as a soul, he was a beautiful person. He was really awesome in a lot of ways. I don't have anything in that regard that I would ever want to say bad about
This
him.
was a drama that was much higher than him.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like you're going to have me. You're going to have me on. I think some more.
Yeah, boots on the ground, little people. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
And here's another comment.
Fib no chi dark flower. Oh, pass that one. Okay. Would love to learn more about the Michael Mary line, Calgary to London, UK. Where is that grid I must have wanted to say improved, changed, or they still in reversal from your perspective? I actually went to her workshop that she did in 2004. No, yeah, 2004. The fall of 2004, the Michael Mary.
You did. So you actually.
I went to that workshop. Yes.
You physically met.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Great. That's so great.
It was scary at times, but it was awesome. It basically, where we were at, it pretty much went through England, central part of England, from north to south. It went through the tour, was part of it.
You mean Glastonbury tour?
Glastonbury. We went to Glastonbury. It was there. And
Avebury.
Mayberry, yeah.
Avebury.
Avebury. Of course, where the Stargate in England was. It was part of there. All the way back in the southern tip, we did an activation there. So if that answer, and I think it goes across the ocean, and it goes across Canada. I think I've heard it goes across Canada. I think that there was a tremendous amount of healing that we did during that workshop. Then when we had the breach in 2011, 2012, I think a lot of the work that we did got kind of hampered. I think a lot of what's been going on with the failsafe host, what's called the failsafe host, again, that's kind of another topic, in bringing in, there's the Alhambra, and then there's some other beings that have come in since then that are more into the spirit body connection of things. Let's just say it that way. That a lot of old work that was done is actually coming back online.
It's the repair. I think it's the repair, actually.
There's a tremendous amount of repair that is going on. So I think just it's a matter of time. Some may be healing faster than others. I still wouldn't, myself, because I can only speak for myself, I personally still wouldn't connect with the Michael Mary line, turnstile, all that mechanics myself. But hey, that's just me. I'm a bit of a
purist. Right, but I feel there's a huge repair even for people that hold certain templates that are unaware, because we just had a huge conference in down in Devizes, UK, which was the Basis conference, and a lot of people that are speakers in our community and things went to a lot of these activations like Avebury Henge and Stonehenge and different things. So I know things are waking up. There's things that are waking up. different pieces are coming along. At least I feel it for myself anyway, even though I didn't physically get to go there.
Yes. I think there's a difference between just what you were saying earlier. I call it about when you're to not necessarily call on the Guardian Alliance, or even don't call on the Alhambra per se, or any of that. Don't go out there. You always want to tune into your own pillar.
That's what I do. Yeah.
And get to know who you are. And that's what Harmonizing Journey to Realignment is all about. Now, yes, I utilize knowledge that I gain from them, but I don't see it what would be. I don't see this being that calls himself an Alhambra and communicate that way back and forth and go, okay, what do you want to tell me? I turn to my own Alhambra expression. I turn into my own soul level avatar, or oversoul collective avatar, Rishi, line and out my plasma body or true body connection and make that link up. That's what I do.
I agree with that, because it's inside and projects out. Actually, it's not out and projects in. It's coming from this way.
Right.
So you could say even the yucky aliens are within, or whatever you want to call it. It's all inside.
Well, yeah, everything in my way of looking at the world is everything that is in my reality is part of my template, my blueprint, my reality, good, bad, and ugly. I have to set it up. All the demons, all that is part of my template, and I can harmonize it and be at peace, or I can be victimized.
Right.
And make them out to be probably way bigger than they really are, and the enemy, and something I have to fight and really build up. Right? That's my opinion.
I agree with that. Yeah, and it's about taking all this extraneous information that seems very complicated and making it simple, and that's part of the embodiment process.
Well, I think the more we each tune in and align and build up and heal the energy lines and energy centers of our neural network pathways, that what a month ago was over our heads becomes more simple. It kind of reminds me of back in the day when we were still doing the Kasara healing work, and I was doing a class, and the first day I would start out, because the way we did it was we had to basically say the way the guardians had given it to Yesha. And so I would read what they said, and everybody would have this glassy-eyed look on their face, like, what? So then what I would do is I would tune in and I would rephrase it with my own internal guidance to, in essence, I guess, simplify it and say it just differently. And then there would be a spark. And then there'd be a lineup, something sparked in their DNA. They'd line. And then I would talk some more in the wording, and then a little bit of a glaze, and then I'd reword it. And then there was like the next day or later in the day, I can't remember now, it's been years, there was a tipping point. And when that tipping point occurred, they really lit up. I didn't have to rephrase it as much anymore, still sometimes a little bit here and there. And I noticed I started talking faster. And yet I'd have to really but it didn't feel like necessarily I was talking. I'm doing it right now. I would start speaking faster, yet they were picking it up, and I was using the majority of her wording because the frequency started to raise up. The neural network started to go online, and people were starting to receive more from their soul level, probably at that time, and maybe little squirts, little sparks up their oversoul and to their avatar level, and it was starting to come in alignment. That's really, I think, the goal that we're wanting to do, because the simplifying it maybe just keeps you there. If you simplify too much,
I get it. Yeah,
you don't spark that DNA. So it's just a balancing act.
Right.
It's a balancing act.
Getting stressed out about the material and the words, just always bring it back to your breath and bearing it back to you, and that'll
Yes,
come. You have to. It's like building a muscle. So you
exactly.
don't try
Little
to go
bit,
to the
study
gym
it a
and
little
lift
bit, back off.
50 pounds in the gym if you haven't lifted 10 pounds yet,
Yeah.
or even 5 pounds.
Study it a little bit, back off, go do something else. Come back, study a little bit more, back off, do something else, come back, and pretty soon, pop, pop, pop. It's that way with the techniques. The techniques, many times for beginners, when they would do the beginning work, they'd fall asleep.
That's right.
And that's okay. They still, especially if it was an audio recording, that's okay. They were still getting it, right? Higher levels were still getting it, and sparking the neural networks. Eventually, people would get to the point they could stay awake through the whole and build on and build and build and build.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I myself actually didn't do many of the older techniques at all. I started with some of the freedom teachings, but for some reason, I wasn't wanting to do. I mean, I did Maharic Seal and Epsilon, some of these real simple ones, but I just could never. My path would always take me in a different way. So I actually started with the newer techniques, and then brought in some of the older ones afterward. I just didn't, and I guess I would say start where you are. I mean, for a while they were saying it's not good.
For a while, it was not safe.
Or this, that.
Right. When the shield was breached, it was not safe.
Right.
Even though EH initially said, "Oh, if you do the plasma work, it was enough." It wasn't. The shield was, and the shield represented, in a sense, bringing through the light body freedom teachings technology.
See, I think I intuitively knew that because I just didn't do anything. At that time.
Yeah, and that was really hard on the planet as a whole, and really shut us down. Now, but over time, the fail-safe technology, the plasmas started to come in, and those that could hold, like yourself, that could hold the plasmas, started building it up to a tipping point, and we were able to then the bigger parts of ourselves. I won't use guardian. Bigger parts are we are guardians. So when I say the guardians, I'm talking about all of us. Okay, so that's just going to say that right off, so it's easier for communication. So when the guardians were able to align and bring more in as parts of ourselves activated as us, we could bring in more. And there was a tipping point. It happened a few years ago. And so, yes, things are starting to come back online that were off. Yes, you can do the light body work where it wasn't safe before, or the freedom teachings work where it wasn't safe before. Now, personally, for myself, I still recommend doing the plasma work as well. Yeisha on her Arrays Productions website, and speaking of Lewis Oxley on Telegram has an excellent channel where he's got a lot of the old freedom teachings that you can access. And I think he's got a lot of the newer work as well. There's a set of things that you can do, or like I'm going to toot my own horn, Harmonizing Journey to Realignment. You can do that, which to me is a lot simpler than some of the work that she does, but does the same thing. It connects you with your spirit body, plasma, Mashayahana Persona. I recommend that just because, yes, things are still coming online, but there's still a lot of distortions. We're still living in a finite second creation mechanics realm here to a certain extent, even though what we call Aurora Earth, which is more of the organic light body structure, is coming back online. Air is coming online. We still have our connection to that old matrix and its distortions.
I need to stand up for a minute. I was going to say, I want to show my shirt too. White squirrels. Let's discuss let's discuss the pan dance, because that's what I wanted to get up. The
Oh, okay,
pan
all right.
dance and the wind of the breath, because
The pan.
that's some new techniques for people, and they'll say, "Oh, what is that?" Okay.
Yeah, that's part of what's referred to in Array's Productions. Although she's got Bright Flower Studios now, but she produced those workshops called the KDDL 1 through 3 on the Array's Productions.
Keyonta Science Discourses for Daily Living, I think.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Those are
which it started out, which that phrase, and then it ended up becoming something else. And
now
because even though we had the failsafe activated, the planetary structure in the system had too many distortions, and there was something to do with the base pulse rhythm of timing. We weren't lining up the way we needed to for the time frame we needed to be at. And so there was different things that were put in place to compensate. True body is one of them that has to do with an interface between our plasma spirit body and our light body structure. There's a particular interface with that. And then that opened up when that occurred, more of an alignment with the Aphia, or I was talking earlier about the deity planes. That comes kind of more into, I guess you'd say, you have the outer domains where we're at here. Then you have the middle domains, which I would say the deity planes are probably connected more to that. And then you have the Aphia consciousness state, which would be more into the inner domains going in. And then you go with the Aphia goes into the core. And when you get into the core domains of the spirit body consciousness, which is nothing to what we can imagine, because when we start imagining and thinking and even to a certain extent feeling to a certain extent, we're out picturing the light body type mechanics. This is something different. That's all I can say. And within that core, that's where we started connecting. They were able to, working with the Alhambra, getting the Alhambra records, getting more into the core. Somehow we were able to get the core domains interpreted to where we can understand it. Because I know good and well those records, Alhambra records, were designed not how it would have been communicated in the core domains, but how it was communicated out for us. Okay, and with that was what's lovingly referred to as the pan frequencies, and it has to do with this. We received it in our domain, kind of an infrared pink color, and of the light spectrum, and there was almost like a trinity, or there was a trinity of them, 3 of them. We're located in I want to say that I always get them confused, but the Panacholeta, Panacholera, anyway, I never can remember exactly. Yeah, how to use it. We're in one. There was another one, and then there was the one above it, right? As a true trinity, so light, sound, and one. They of course cycle together as one, and they cycle out, right? In breath, out breath. In the top one is where when I talk about the Array Lake Conservatory, or the Waiken, the birthing center of creation, is in this space within the core. So we are working with connecting whatever way we're able to with the core domain, and that's through the pan frequencies.
And then those things, doesn't that create what's called the Panakai passage in these certain cathedral networks, these certain spots that I just see as like,
because without
it's a way
that,
out of the matrix through to the eternal realms is sort of how I see it in my mind, you know.
Because there's so many distortions in our realm, in the light body structure, we weren't able to clear up down here what we needed to. So all those different, I call them band-aids. Aisha has a different term. I'm totally spacing what she calls them. But upgrade missions, or I can't remember her little phrase on it. but
Mug mission upgrade or something.
something like that. And like the the Missy sphere was one of them, and then the bridge that was connected. Anyway, all those different things that have been done over the years.
There's a lot of words, you guys.
There's a lot of different things.
Has a meaning.
None of them really worked because there wasn't enough, I think, frequency quantum of consciousness of our bigger selves in enough to give it the quantum it needed to actually run. But with the failsafe, it opened the doorway, so to speak, or portal way to connect with what you just said, the Panakai passage.
I think this
and some other passages, part of that integral bridge, 7 bridges flows, blah blah blah, bypass system. I like to call it the Rainbow Bridge, and passage.
Yeah, I call it Rainbow Bridges too for myself
to connect. We're bringing in those bigger frequencies of ourselves to come in and hold all those different programs in place, all in the stargates and band-aids stuck on the stargates and everything that's been done to help us be able to have an accessibility to.
Because if it didn't get that bad, I don't think we would have even known who the Alhambra was. It was only necessary for them to come because we hit a failsafe. Otherwise, I don't think they would have even ever.
They wouldn't have come if we hadn't got failsafe going. No.
Yeah, I don't think
because
so. Yeah.
Failsafe went into play. It was only going to go into place if shit hit the fan.
And my feeling is this:
shit hit the fan big time.
The Milky Way galaxy is corrupted. Everything fell out of Andromeda, which is M31.
Yes.
And then there's M33 Triangulum, which is kind of online. We want to talk about that too.
Which I think is what we're in. That's the Milky Way, right? M33 is the Milky Way galaxy.
Triangulum, I'm not sure.
So it's trying to get. So that's the structure we have to travel through because that's where we're at. We're coming through that structure. I'm not really. I have to admit, her current teachings, I'm not really buying of that triangulation thing that she's doing. I'm definitely in with the 2 pillars coming together, creating the transposition liberation passage, and that to me is the integral bridge 7 ties into the integral
core,
bridge 7 so the rainbow pillar bridge. There's a lot of things working that I'm doing currently with my team to align with that at a bigger level with the Starlight Gold. And actually we're connecting with an Alhambra level that's more into M31, more where the Alhambra actually originally came from. We're connecting with those guys, bringing them through and connecting in with stuff we're doing.
Which is supposedly now where the sphere of Amente is too, is back in. Yeah. So yeah, there's so much, and you can stay where you are. I mean, you could be on the workshop of 2014 with that Banshee and that reverse current within your electrical field for a long time. I mean, because for me, it's all been about the blood force, the liquids of the body, and how that connects to the inner earth or liquids in the water.
Yeah, the lid bars. I think it's what she used.
My piece is the water, so I kind of
I work a lot. Yes, I work a lot with that too. Yes.
Because now a lot of people are saying, maybe Stargate 2 is now actually called the Gulf of America, Mexico. Okay, so the Gulf of America, Mexico, Siesta Key. It wasn't just the Gulf of Mexico. I call it, because it was changed to the Gulf of America, I actually call it the Gulf of America, Mexico now.
I have no issue with that. Yeah.
But it's dark flowered. That area is dark flowered, and she moved.
I don't know that I agree with that.
But that might only be in one time period that it's dark flowered, and in another time it isn't. So it depends on maybe the level of what time stamp you're looking at things, whether it is for you or it isn't. I was kind of picking up it was before that, but so I was focused on
What do you mean before? I'm sorry. What do you mean before that?
before she made an announcement, like there was something going on with that area. I
Oh,
didn't
there
know
was
what
some
it was
shit going on.
because
Oh,
the
yes.
storms. Remember the hurricanes
Yes, yes,
through
yes,
there.
yes, yes,
We
yes,
had
yes,
we
yes.
had
Yeah.
Hurricane Helene that went up through there, and then there was Milton. But I always saw that my piece was to work with the side that's connected to the Bahamas, which is also Stargate. Is it Stargate 3? But there, I know there was J seals there too. So you have the external Jehovian seals, which connects into the trumpet pulses and all that stuff too, which we can get into. And being in Charleston, I even think there was Mandela effects. And here the bells are going. I think there was Mandela effects with the Voyagers because Asheville and Mount Mitchell is in Voyagers now. It never was before.
I'm sorry. Say that again. What's in Voyagers now that wasn't?
Asheville, North Carolina. It was never in there before because I would have remembered because that's my piece is looking at the grids where I am, which is Asheville, North Carolina, Mount Mitchell, which is the tallest point, 6,684 feet, Charleston, and how that connects as far as the J seals where you are. I mean, something moved south till closer to Savannah now because I don't remember Savannah being in there, but now it's I thought it was
Yeah,
over
yeah,
Charleston.
they're in there. I don't know. 'Cause it seems like to me, every time I reread the Voyagers, I always feel like there's something new in it. I learned
That's what I
something.
mean.
I'm like, oh yeah,
It
it
might
said that. I remember that, but I guess it did. I don't know.
if they're changing the Bible with Mandela effects, now there's unicorns in the Bible. The Bible always used to say the lion shall lie down with the lamb. Now something about the wolf. So why can't they put Mandela effects in her book? Let's see what's coming up here.
Well, and if you kind of add to that the fact of how many times did she was involved with time jumps,
Right.
then to think those time jumps wouldn't change our actual physical reality is kind of narrow-minded. It would have to shift and change things. Yeah, definitely. And I kind of added to that. Well, no, I don't want to go down that discussion. Never mind.
Let's read some comments here. Good to hear. Good choice. Sometimes best choice to stay in your equilibrium. Always. Okay. These are just comments. Let's see what the next one says here.
Any questions? Yeah.
Was the Gulf or oil spill deliberate to release black goo and help out with previous? Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I mean, everything that goes on, boots on the ground, human level, I think is being orchestrated by something else somewhere else with other beings. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not getting a yes necessarily on the black goo or the dark flowering, but I definitely, well, I definitely get that it was to shut us down.
Yeah.
I get that for sure. And I think there's different groups with different agendas.
Right, exactly. So it's like
might have been a
to
different
move,
agenda.
counter move.
It was
move,
definitely not for the good, and it was to do harm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do
And
you?
that was quite a few years ago, though, right? Right. When you're talking about
that was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That was before the black goo and the dark flower and stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm getting a no. Yeah. What is a different agenda, a different group?
What is this?
Sorry.
Now? No, what I was going to ask you, what do you think's going on in Ireland now that she's moved there? Flicks, I was getting incredible download poetry Saturday night. Right, and Missy with Chloe TSP came in so fast, had no time to. Okay, that's just a comment. Okay, thank you for the comment, Eric. What do you feel is going on in Ireland now? I mean, I had my own connections with Ireland when I went there with Cork and different places. I never made it to Tara Hill, but I mean, I feel a significance of it, but I just haven't been following this branch of the newest stuff as much, so I'm kind of like out of the loop, so I don't really know how much going on with Ireland.
So you're referencing in regards to her. If you're talking in regards to Ireland in terms of the work that Aisha's doing.
Yes.
So let's just say the end of KDDL and then that next workshop right after the KDDL.
Postmaster.
Yeah, Postmaster. Sorry. Yeah. I would say I'm pretty good with it. To indicate EDL, I'm good with the beginning of Hostmaster. Pretty good. But I would, something happened. Okay, got it. All right, here we go. Let's be public now.
Be totally transparent. I have no judgment. I don't care because.
Well, no, it's not about you. It's the fact this is going public on YouTube. So that's what I'm referencing.
Audience.
Okay. All right. Something, this is what I get, me and the team that I work with, people that I work with. Something happened in November, December of last year into the January, into February of this year that really hit the planetary grids hard. And it had to do with the dark flowering, which I don't want to get into. We'll have another day, we'll specifically get into that. But we'll just say something hit the grids hard. And it hit her. And whatever it is that hit, the guardians, quote unquote, us, pulled her out of the body. And because remember, Iesha, although I don't know people, was a walk-in.
That's right.
So she was not the original soul in that body. So the original soul had stepped aside and Iesha came in. I would say that personally, I feel typically with, I think with those kind of relationships, there's still an ancestral connection, soul connection, family connection. So you could say the incarnate self, maybe soul level, stepped to the side and a higher aspect came in. And I think that higher aspect came out, and I think something else maybe there. Maybe. I could be wrong on that, but bottom line is, whatever's going on with her, she's not bringing in what she was bringing in before. She's not lining up anymore.
And some people would say that with the older work too, like they didn't resonate with the change. So it just depends on maybe where somebody is in their journey and what.
I wouldn't do that. I would not do that new code that she created. I would not do that new code she created. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
Something's not right with her.
Well, something was interesting. I know that she was bringing these paintings of her past. I found that interesting in the way that for me,
she's not producing really. Yeah, she's not producing anything new.
Look at for that. What was I doing at that time, and where was I? And there was times I was in New Jersey when she was in Pennsylvania, and I just found that interesting. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
Those are wonderful images. Although they needed a little energetic clearing, some of them. No problem with that. But the fact is, she's not producing really anything new. Even that new code that she did, it's not, the energy's to me off. Something's off. Let's just say that. So no, if you're asking in regards to the work of where she's at now, that's my answer. I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to trash her. I love her. I love Iesha. I'm definitely still connected with Iesha in my own personal way that I connect energetically. I mean, not that I talk to her or anything like that. But,
I get what you're saying.
But anyway, energetically feel a connection with her. She's a beautiful soul.
Where your piece is in the work. So what I want to do now is back it up to not that part of the work, but I want to bring in what the know me is, because I always work with this soap bubble thing just on my own. I mean, my connection to like playing with soap bubbles for my cat, Arthur. And I have an obsession with the Northern Lights. So the Northern Lights to me are almost beings. They connect something about Polaris, and I don't know, because it's my own thing that I have going on. But
that would be Polaris, would probably be the Polarians.
Lavender, huh?
The Polaris kind of connects into the Polarians. The
yeah.
Polarian Matrix, which they're awesome possums. Yeah.
But I'm saying, that all works for me with the cathedral and the
I'm good with the Nomi. I work with the Nomi, especially with my work with your rare earth. I work with the Nomi. I work with the Alhambra. I work with the Yusufre, and I work with the Starlight Gold. So basically, up until just this last workshop that she did, I've been right with her up until this breakup point.
Okay. But let's go back for people. I mean, how would somebody know if they're connected to the K+8? I mean, I know for myself.
Oh yeah, we never did answer. We never did answer what the K+8 is. So K as in Cathara. So that would be our D12, D13, D14, D15. So that's basically the K. And the plus is when you're going more into the middle inner core domains, is the plus, which has to do with the Alhambra connection with ourselves as Alhambra, the 8 plus. Sun 8 connection of how those dimensional levels interface with the quote unquote suns. And that's kind of a whole other discussion. But it's just, you could say K+8 is connecting into more of the spirit body connection of our multidimensional reality.
Which connects to those Panakai passages.
It would connect into the Panakais, yes, it would connect.
So this is where my piece is. My piece with all this is the grid work of how this connects to repair the old stargates and use these Panakai passages as extension arms with the old stargates, because it's interesting. She was stationed in Myakka, Florida, which is, part of that cathedral.
That's part of the Alhambra.
But that was
Stargate
2.
Yeah.
Stargate 2 was what got corrupted, supposedly. And there's a yes and no to that. And I feel like it depends on what level. I've never said this to you. I've said this publicly. I don't know if you'll resonate with this, but I got that Stargate 2, when it was whenever it was going through, was temporarily moved to Mar-a-Lago.
I get a yes on that. I get a yes on that. Interesting.
Yeah, when I went down to Mar-a-Lago, I got, there's some dark contracts that Brotherhood had from the past, but it was still in the highest and best to move it there because of what was going on with it, to do with that gravitron machine, and all that kind of stuff. And I get chills as I say it again. The goosebump pimples.
Yeah.
Now, some of what that team is doing, I'm not for, like data centers and things like that. There's some, I don't know, things are used and they get hijacked, and there's a lot.
There's so much that goes on with geographically with that area, because then you have the watchtower that has to do with the elementals of creating the elemental planetary structure, and also kind of fairly recently, we were getting that there's something to do with the planetary filtration system of how it filters out the more disharmonic miasmic energies, that's in that general area, was majorly clogged.
I agree.
And we kind of went in and did what we do and are connected with who we connect with and all blah, 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 and worked to kind of start clearing that and releasing that out. And then that's kind of opened up something and other things that we've been involved with.
And Lewis,
that's been a fairly recent thing that we did. So
Lewis has a great comment. In August of 2012, you have a 3-part technique that allows you to create your individual connections to the suns, 1 through 8, which yes, that's true. I can't remember which one
that's when I was talking about the free techniques on Array's Productions.
Yes. I know I'm mostly connected to 3, but I'm connected to all of them. But you could talk about the shield split. The Peru workshop was about the repair of, I think it was the green and violet shield, which is 4 or 5.
Because we were
1, 2, 3. Is it 4 or 5? I'm trying to remember. I have to look at it.
Something like that. Yeah.
Can he put a picture up? Can you put a picture up, Lewis, of that, of what the cathedral looks like? You don't have it accessible, do you?
I really do need to. Let's see.
I didn't know what I was even going to ask you.
I do in an indirect way.
Eric wants us to do this regularly.
I always have to. I probably need to go pretty soon, and that's really kind of a big topic in and of itself. I definitely think you're going to want to have me back.
I do
think
want
we
to have
have
you back.
way
I mean,
more
maybe
topics
we
to
need
talk
to
about.
do this. Maybe we need to do this once a month if you're good with it. I mean,
That
because
sounds good.
especially
I
with
can do that
everything's
once a
going
month.
on now, we need to. But if okay, then Eric said something about the 48D shield, but yeah, that's part of the Elohim though, or Elohai,
yeah.
the
I would just
indigo
say in
one.
regards to the Peru back in 2013, I guess that was more like 2013.
Or was it 2012?
Was it 20? Okay, yeah, it was 2012. That she, at that time, she was working to get the Alhambra Cathedral network up and running.
That's right.
And we needed to go there to, what you just said, clean certain things up so that cathedral could go online.
That's
and
right.
That cathedral structure, you could just say, because we're talking Alhambra, connects us, we'll just say in simple terms, connects us to a spirit body.
And then
connects the earth to its spirit body, you could even say.
Aruba was another great workshop.
Aruba was part of it, yeah.
Banshee thing, that whole thing,
yeah.
with that first
yeah.
current in your energy field, how one part can flow one way and be in the correct way, and then there's a part that's flowing the opposite direction, which is an inorganic way, which is a contributor to what's called the dark flowering, which I think we're going to have to get into another time.
That's a whole topic.
And the fatally, which femme fatale.
Well, the fatally, dark flowering is the same thing. So that's a whole other big topic that would take a good time to discuss.
Okay, so let's hear about, in like say another 15 minutes remaining before you have to go. How about this? How do you combine tarot with this? You know, I have my own way. I've been doing what I call 12 tree Cathara grid readings with the tarot. I invented that myself, where I put the tarot cards in a configuration of the Cathara grid. I'd like to hear what you do. I tried to watch, but I couldn't hear it. It wasn't loud enough.
Well, the way I feel like tarot organically, you look at the history that it came through the emerald tablets originally. At least that's what I heard through Thoth. Well, guess where Thoth got that from? Us. He got it from the original organic teachings.
That's right.
So it has its organic root. And yes, it may have some twist to it, but you know, we all do. And it does explain where we're at, who we are, what we're about. It's a tool. And one thing that I've kind of found with cards that I've seen other people do, and I'm starting to do it myself, the cards will take on whatever life or consciousness you want to give them sometimes. So they have kind of what their original root is, and then you can kind of energetically give them a different energetic feel to it as they become yours, as they become your own. So that's kind of a little bit of how I feel about the cards. It's a nice little tool. Sometimes I get a download, don't need the cards. Sometimes it kind of helps me trigger my own pillar to bring through information, and the little cards are like little triggers that I then bring through stuff.
And for me, it's also like a placement holder of frequency and focus, because I can remember what I articulated when I see that card, and then I'm on to the next thing, and then it's like how to integrate those two cards together, if you will.
Exactly. Yes. I think astrology is part of that too.
Right.
There's a lot of, it's just saying what is. And I've noticed it's fascinating as the different, we'll just call it fail-safe activations that are coming in and changing things with the planetary structures and alignments. I see the current astrology readers basically telling you what's going on, what's actually what is going on. So they read what's going on. So that means if it's organically going on, they'll read it. If it's inorganically, they'll read it. And there's a lot of different kinds of astrology. There's degree astrology, which I think is really looking at the degrees. That's really powerful. There's, I think, Oriental astrology. I mean, there's all these different
Ayurvedic.
ones that have Ayurvedic that I think all have a little, that are our technology as angelic humans that we brought in, higher knowledge, that yes, it got a little changed here and there, but we can always bring it back.
Even
Because
whole
it comes
signs,
through our template.
Ophiuchus, all this, and especially the one that's like depictions of the seasonal depiction of the sky. That might be the best one. I don't know what you call that, where you're looking at the actual seasonal depiction for like the few months, you know, with it, and that brings in the cross quarter days and all that stuff. Because I still think there's something about solstices and equinoxes and all these things, even if they're corrupted, we're in a system. We need to know what we're dealing with.
It's still what's happening. It's still what's going on with us. To just say, oh, it's got a distortion to it. I don't know. I don't have anything to do with it. You're kind of undermining yourself, actually, in my opinion.
Right.
In my opinion.
So you're better off to know.
At least
and know how to clear it.
And then you know better how to clear it, or how to manage through it when some of these astrological alignments are beating your ass. You can know a little bit of what's coming ahead and you can compensate. Don't sign that contract that week or whatever it is. Don't be maybe in public as much, or, you know, there's all these different things you can do to minimize and move a little bit more smoothly through these times that are happening. But if you just go, you're going to get your ass handed to you, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because nobody's perfect.
One of the ones I used to love that you did is you took that floating Buddha and you kind of made your own. Tell us about what you did with floating Buddha. That's why I put that in the picture when I designed that for you, because that's the way I saw you. I got a download. This is how I see you multidimensionally, as what I put there.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. I love that. Yeah, I feel like, the shade of shield, floating Buddha, right? I'm one of the Buddhas in my shield. And these Buddhas, that we call them, are from Eartha and connected, interfacing in, because Eartha is connected in M31, still part of M31, or where we originally came from, part which interfaces into the, I think it's the middle domains. And so they're from there. So they connect with our, I feel like when we connect and create the shaded shield, because I always feel this way about everything, in my opinion, that we connect into our Buddha level of that level of self in the middle domains of within Eartha, within our original M31 connection. So we're connecting with that part of ourselves, that, and creating a shield that connects us. It helps bring us up into that reality a little bit better. And did I answer your question?
Yeah. What I kind of get is, you know, at first it
was. Wait. I'm sorry. There was one more piece I wanted to add. Sorry about that. So when creating the shaded shield, okay, when we do the introductory session, and then I go through how I got guided with working with my Alhambra team to interface with the Mashayahana Persalon spirit body, plasma body connection. For some reason, and it fascinates me to no end, when you create that shield and when you interface it in the Persalon, your manifestation template, the two interface together. So when you activate the shaded shield, you're also activating your plasma spirit body together, and then connecting into those higher realms within your current time-space reality. Never knew anything else like it. Added to that, about just one more thing, what I feel like I get intuitively is that a plasma, Mashayahana Persalon plasma body structure, the Brahmanas, people talk about the Brahmanas, I think were people's Mashayahana Persalon spirit bodies at one time, and then when the planet went shut down, those plasma bodies shut down and became the physical Brahmana structures that we see, or the images we see flying around of a varying version of our spirit body plasma Mashayana personals is what I get. That's my feeling on it. Okay, I'm done with that.
Okay, the other thing what I want to say is what I get is when the Crystal River mission came in and it was the rescue mission for Earth, I also see it as a larger rescue mission for actually the whole Milky Way galaxy to bring it back into Andromeda.
Yes, I agree.
From which it fell out of. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
5 more minutes.
Okay. I thought we should go till 2:33.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, if you have any cards, if you want to pull a card or do like a mini meditation or do a little something to end, let's do that. I didn't bring any of mine out here.
Well, I could do the prayer, the introduction prayer that I usually do. We could do that, and then if anybody has a question, and we still have time after I do the prayer, I could do that. So, again, always relaxing, breathing, tuning in to yourself. Love yourself. Appreciate yourself. The good, bad, and the ugly of yourself. You creating it all. So
and breathe.
And breathe. I was gonna say, and breathe. When you get stressed, we stop breathing, and our shoulders hunch, and we get knocked out of our body. When you feel anxiety and stress, just focus on your breath, and before you know it, your shoulders go up, your pillars open, and you're able to come back into your body. Because if you're not in your body, something else is going to be in your body.
That's exactly right.
And your body is part of your multidimensional anatomy, your incarnate, your blueprint. Yeah. Okay. All right. So just breathing, tuning in. All right. The Crystal River Prayer and Invocation of the Elisa Silver Sea Councils. Again, this is from Maria's Productions. I just added some newer counsel to the original prayer. Okay. So Crystal River Prayer and Invocation of the Elisa Silver Sea Councils, GANYYAC, TAEFW, ETYC, EAAC, AMCC, MCO for Silver Sea Crystal River Plasma Host Activation and Amplification. Shadu Elisa Alhambra, Don Etale Sun Jadradu, Easta Inta O Darujamina, Eala Sasun Pita Elade, Vostila Ilaho, Kumana Imita Jadu, Elisa Sunta E Amita Juntu, Elisa Sunta E Amita Juntu, Elisa Sunta E Amita Juntu. In the Christic name and action of God Source First Eternal, the Eternal Christ, Nomia Yusafre Yorea Alhambra, Aria, Nomia Yorea Alhambra, first absolute bright flower founders. Ilania Topelia Yorea, Christa Ariania Arias Cosminias Alhambras, the Elisa Silver Sea Councils and the Alhambra Magistracy Councils of Cosminias. Rotaete Irashradu, Anale Ita Shet Alhambra. Everybody put their hands in prayer posture in front of the tip of their sternum and heart area. Alhambra, 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 Alhambra. Inhale, hold. Feeling into the tip of your sternum. There's a little bit of rainbow crystal. Feel yourself connecting within that. Hold. And out loud, say Alhambra.
Alhambra. And
of course, everybody knows if you're comfortable doing this, do this. If not, don't do it. Okay. Alhambra. Ernende Sahara ila tre himo sen aurora. Der la hosandina ve. Komsa eho der ete tajet Alhambra. Komsa adilar inter elavi. Kasminasa Alhambra der ishwa avi. To Asia into Dori, to Asia into Dori, to Asia into Dori. Ashea nira ochasa, or Ashea nira ochasa, Ashea nira ochasa, Ashea nira ochasa. Ariania Ilesa Alhambra Agriadan, Ariania Ilesa Alhambra Agriadan, Ariania Ilesa Alhambra Agriadan. Uma etre ina e, Uma etre ina e. Uma Etve Ina A Akasha. I'm just breathing and breathing down into feeling it connected into the earth or the floor beneath you, into the earth, breathing all the way down into what we call Nomi Earth Core Soup Field of the earth core. And just feeling the energies coming up and connecting into the bottoms of our feet. And feeling the energy right below us kind of popping in the flow of life force. And kind of moving through. And feeling very grounded and stable. And that energy kind of flowing through your central body current. You're just feeling at peace. Okay. Usually we would do the Shada Shield and get that up and going and other stuff, but I mean, I don't know if you want me back another time when we have more time to do the full introductory session.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. I just want to say and simplify that, breathe in the light, all that we did, and breathe out the love to everybody. Just thank you so much. This has been so much fun. And yeah, we have to do more. We'll do more. Maybe we could do a reading or something. So you
Sounds
can show
good.
People how to do readings. How can people find you?
Harmonizingjourney.com is my website. And I think I sent you I sent you all the different links. So
I think I put some of it in the show description. I figured I can add more links in the show description.
So
but I did hashtag things. So yeah,
that's
what I did so far. I'm still getting the technology up and running. This is still, there's a learning curve with all this, you know, or a remembering curve because they change it so much. So if you go from one platform to the next, you got to learn that. If you're on a different device, you got to learn that. But with that, you guys, it's 2:33. I'll be on again tomorrow, and then I'll see you around. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.